So Spider-Man just has a new face now? And Trump got COVID. All right. Tana Mojo lost her verification because she was going to give people who vote for Biden nudes. Vin Diesel put out a new song, and now I have a crush on a TikToker. You know, if I actually edited my videos in a reasonable time frame, I'd be able to talk about any of this stuff. Hi, welcome back to my channel. I don't know if you know this, but there's an election coming up. I'll put a bunch of resources in the description below. Make sure you're registered, make sure you vote. It's important. Some of the presidential candidates this year are very funny. Take Brock Pierce and his very cool lightning bolt logo. This guy is friends with Akon, and his Wikipedia page begins with, Brock Pierce is an American entrepreneur and former actor known for his work in the cryptocurrency industry. He wants to use AI to save America, or something like that. Another great candidate is Melinda Pillsbury Foster, who I think is a former libertarian. I've read her main website multiple times, and I still can't parse out much meaning from it, other than the fact that she was, quote, never anything but bored by Dick and Jane government schooling. She's gone with the bold campaign strategy of saying, I don't give a hoot about being president. The reason I said main website is because she runs 82 different Blogspot websites. She likes all movies, and favorite books? Now, that would take a year to list. There's also a Philadelphia neurologist named Kenneth Bruce Van Gross, who may or may not think he possesses the surgical prowess of his 19th century ancestor. But there's so much more on the ballot this year than just for president. There are municipal elections happening all over the country for city councils and mayors and treasurers and all sorts of other positions. And with that comes adults who have no idea what they're doing. Just in the race for city council in my hometown of Burbank, California, you've got low-res watermarked images of a word bubble that's the same 8 vaguely political words, people saying that the Burbank way of life is under attack by radical outside forces, and people giving their 2 cents on how to solve a traffic problem that isn't really a problem. I mean, sure, sometimes there are cars on the road, but for the most part, it's fine. There's nothing too crazy in terms of candidates. It's a lot of boring white people, but that's just Burbank. Burbank is the Joe Biden of places. It's all kind of old. I grew up with it, and it probably has a hard candy stuck in its pocket. The one thing that I wish was on the Burbank ballot, but isn't, is a new flag, because the flag of Burbank sucks. Or should I say flags of Burbank suck. You've got 2 options. There's cityseal.jpg, or there's this unholy monstrosity. And I understand conceptually where all the things come from. You know, there used to be Lockheed Martin, and all the studios are there. But holy shit-a-moly, this flag sucks. Number 1, super specific objects that are very tiny on the flag, so when viewed from a distance, you can't tell what the hell they are. Number 2, boring colors. They picked the most boring shade of blue that they could, because that's the Burbank way. And number 3, they've got a name tag on the flag. And if you need a name tag on the flag, then no one knows what the hell your flag is supposed to be, which means it's a bad flag. But beyond Burbank, a concept many Burbankers struggle to understand, you've got Megan E. Landry. She's a candidate for the Newport, Rhode Island City Council who lost her primary, but has since announced she's going to try and win the general election through a write-in campaign. I understand losing an election is tough. You put a lot of time and money and energy into a campaign, but in Megan's case, 8 people moved on to the general election. At some point, you've just got to give it up. And it was close between her and 9th place. She was just shy of being just shy of making it. She also volunteered for other campaigns after losing, So she's already helped her opponents who've already beaten her to beat her again. Maybe somehow she'll manage to pull this off. But when she doesn't, don't worry, she's already announced she's running in 2022. Another benign, silly thing I saw was on the website for Carol Marquez, who's running in Gilroy, California. On every single page of her website, it says, "Please scroll down for more information," which I think most people instinctively know to do. Her website also says, "They talk about it, I do it." But then directly beneath that, it shows two things that she voted against but ended up passing, which means that whatever ambiguous they she's referring to also is able to do it, just not the things that she wants to do. But what do I know? I'm just a kid with a performing arts certificate, and Carol is the vice chair of the Unreinforced Masonry Committee. That masonry will reinforce if left to its own devices. Also in Gilroy is Danny Mitchell, seen here sitting very casually in a casual shirt on a casual bench. His top three priorities are budgetary challenges, economic development, and traffic solutions, public transportation, housing solutions, parks and recreation, public safety, and the historic downtown. And the homepage to his website frightens me. I'm here, and I'm listening. In Sumter, South Carolina, the candidates include a man who committed domestic violence with a tire iron, but the Democrats still rallied around him. A reverend attorney who may have stolen, among other things, a bird bath, a windmill, and an antique bell, and upon returning the bell may have replaced it with a forgery. If there's anyone who should know "thou shalt not steal," it's the person who's a pastor and a lawyer. And a woman who may or may not have staged her own kidnapping. She says she didn't, but everyone else says she did. I'm assuming the local businessman / city council member is going to win this election. But if any of these three win, it will lead to much more interesting city council meetings. But as with everything, there is something that is the most ridiculous. And, as usual, that ridiculousness is in Florida. The Boca Raton City Council, seen here looking like a stock photo of a city council, isn't having their election until March. But that means we're just 5 months out. That's depressing as hell. Earlier this year, they held an election for mayor, and their incumbent won. Nothing interesting there. Until you meet my favorite Florida politician, Bernard Corn. A self-described political whistleblower and a Boca Raton Tribune-described habitual office seeker, Bernard Corn ran against Scott Singer, the current mayor, in 2018, and Corn got just 3% of the vote. So, when the 2020 mayoral election rolled around, Corn gave it a go again, and again he lost. But I can't find any election results anywhere other than the final outcome. No percentages, no votes per candidate, nothing. And Ballotpedia doesn't even show that the race happened. Maybe Bernard was right. Maybe the ruling class is attempting to shield Singer from the scrutinies of the public. Because if they only knew, they'd see the dark money that Bernard sees. They'd catch the corruption that Corn can catch. Or maybe people didn't vote for him because he said Boca Raton has a weak mayor form of government, even though the job is an elected position. City manager is the real CEO. Mayor has ceremonial duties, has no more power than the 4 city council members who set policy with him. So mayor cannot announce any dramatic proposals of his own. No one really wants a mayor who says, the mayor can't really do anything, and that's why I want the job and why you should pay me $38,000 a year. He also probably doesn't live in Boca Raton, one of very few requirements to be the mayor of Boca Raton. In addition to trying to be Boca Raton's mayor, Corn also ran for president. Don't vote for Bernard Corn for president. He's not gonna win. Don't vote for Kanye West for president. he's also not going to win. But do vote. It's important. And make sure you know what you're voting on, because while national elections are important, state and local elections are probably more so. So make sure that the people who are representing your city represent you.
Oh, this guy gets it.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. If you want to see me talk about politics instead of talking about politicians, you can watch that video right there where I talk about Ben Shapiro's sister and why I think she's wrong. Again, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.